Hello everyone, I am Razel. Today I will be discussing about research writing formats. So we'll try to learn, or for some of us, or most of us, will be refreshing our minds about research writing formats because this will be very helpful for us, graduate students, not only for the completion of this research for managers course, but also when we start writing our own thesis for our MBA. I will be discussing the following topics: the importance of research writing formats, the common research formats, distinguishing between publishable research report versus thesis, and we'll deep dive or like focus on the major headers or headings for the InRed format and some sample templates I've gathered from I've gathered online and from a colleague. The one I gathered from the colleague is actually the UCC template already. So to start, let's discuss why we need to refresh our minds about research writing formats, or for those, I'm not sure who are those people who are not able to experience any form of academic research writing during their undergraduate years. So let's have the discussion why it's important to follow some writing formats, two different types of research reports. So based on my research or readings, um, we we were able to identify at least three importance or benefits. So the first one is it ease communication. It is a sign of respect and professionalism when you have proper research writing formats, or even you follow research writing formats. So it also develops good habits. So for the first one, ease of communication. So proper formatting can facilitate clear communication because it signals to the reader of your research report that you are knowledgeable about how you communicate your topic. And it again, it affects this. It also related to the second importance, which is professionalism. It conveys a degree of professionalism. So proper citation helps your reader find supporting sources on the subject. So if your paper is disorganized, so the reader's attention is drawn to the sloppiness or inconsistency of the paper. But if it's formatted neatly and correctly, the reader's attention can be focused on the content with minimal distractions. So, sign of respect and professionalism. Proper formatting and citation sends a message to your school, your program, and to other professionals that you respect the discipline and other researchers, you know, because you give them enough credit that, and it shows that you follow the well established general guidelines for research. So especially for example for the thesis during the defense or any submissions to, for example, professional journals, this is crucial and can either make or break your paper or your article. Like if it's sloppy, automatically it's a no-no for them. So lastly, develops good habits. So if you follow directions, and gets you in the habit of working within that practice guidelines of your discipline, you tend to it tends to become your second nature. So when you're working on the field, it benefits your overall work. So regardless if you're working with the APA style, MLA, Chicago, or whatever, it shows that you have the best or up-to-date knowledge of the best practices when it comes to research writing, right? So to sum it up, research writing formats ensures that you as a researcher can present a concise and clear research output, that you really did your work, right? Okay, next one. Now let's proceed to having a common understanding of what a research format is. So let's have a general definition for it for everybody's understanding. So research format obviously is a set of rules and style suggestions for writing in academic research. So usually research formats are tailored to different types of research reports or different classifications of research reports. This can be theses, dissertations, journal articles, white papers, and so on and so forth. So it depends to the specific publishers or university colleges or research department what type of research format you would need to apply for your output. Okay, so now let's proceed with publishable research report and thesis. So a publishable research report actually serves as a document that conveys the outcomes of a research investigation to the academic and professional community. It's somehow the same with thesis, but um, publishable research report is way shorter than the thesis, okay? Because thesis is an extended research report submitted as also a requirement for academic, degrees, typically, masterals or doctor levels. And then, uh, under a publishable research report, it usually, as I mentioned, you present it for review. So this review is actually called the peer review, which is a process wherein experts in that field or in that field of study that you're conducting evaluate the quality of your research report. Okay, and moving forward, under publishable research report, usually the general format used is the IMRAD format, which is the mnemonic actually stands for Introduction, Methods, Research, Results, and Discussion. So, as I mentioned, commonly used, and it actually guides the flow of research reporting. So, obviously, for thesis or dissertation, we use dissertation or thesis format. So, it's quite extensive, as I've mentioned. So, as you can see, here's a high-level overview between, the differences between the IMRAD format and the dissertation or thesis format. So again, IMRAD summarize, thesis lengthy. So for the IMRAD, no more than 20 pages. Lengthy thesis, I'm not sure what's the maximum or the longest thesis ever written. But for IMRAD, its manuscript is completed research, as I mentioned, peer review. Okay, and again, under IMRAD, the reviewers are the board of journal reviewers because you actually submit it to the publisher or journal company wherein you want your paper to be published. So for the thesis, the reviewer is the committee on oral defense. You have the oral aside from writing it, you also have to defend it orally. Okay. Again, this one is a comparison of the basic outline or of the headings for a research paper in an IMRAD versus the thesis format. So as you can see, those headings or headers highlighted are items wherein both these formats have in common. So for example, in IMRAD, you also have the title and author. In thesis, you have that abstract. You can find it in a thesis as well. Introduction, in IMRAD, it's actually the chapter 1 and 2 in thesis. So methodology, results, so on and so forth. So that I keep on saying that the thesis one is lengthy. So obviously those items or headers here not highlighted are usually and commonly you can only find this in a thesis or a dissertation. Okay, I'm not saying totally that you can only find this in thesis. Sometimes there may be like some sort of short section of list of figures or I don't know CV, but it's very minimal that you can find it in a journal article. Probably dedication you can find, but I'm not sure for the other items. But that's the reason why thesis is a very lengthy research report. Okay. In the interest of our course, we will briefly explore more of the major headers of IMRAD format and provide how these headers look like in an actual research paper. To start with, it's with such a introduction. So it sets the foundation of the study by starting with an overview of the research topic significance and relevance. So usually it contains the background, the cited studies, the previous studies, wherein you gather that there was a gap from that previous studies. So the significance of your study as well, the objectives, and it is usually written in 3 to 6 paragraphs. Okay. Next one is methodology. It provides a description of how you're going to carry out or perform your research. So it contains the research design, the participants, the demographics. So sampling strategy, data gathering method, statistical data analysis procedure, statistical and whatnot. And then it usually is written in 1 to 3 paragraphs for a publishable research report. Lastly, results and discussion. So it contains the discoveries and the interpretation of the results within the framework of your research questions, actually, and versus the existing literatures that you've used during your introduction. So you present the data, the results of your the research you've conducted, usually in different formats, whether it's textual, tabular, charts, graphics, diagrams. Also, you state the major findings, that you uh, uh, that resulted from your research, and you interpret these major findings. So regardless if it's a positive result or a negative result, you have to state it and interpret it within your research. Yeah, within your results and discussion section. Um, yeah. Lastly, we have some sample templates. So as I mentioned, I've gotten these templates from a colleague who recently finished her MBA in UCC. So UCC has this file, the Graduate School for Guide, thesis and dissertation format or guide. So we also have the technical guidelines. So this file actually, this is the one wherein it already outlines the contents of the thesis. Like it already contains a table of contents. You just have to fill it out. Okay, and that's it for my discussion. So here are my references, and thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, just feel free to send it over the chat box or any social communication that we have in our class. Thank you.